Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, hello! My name's Paul, this is RDTV. Thank you for tuning in, and today we're taking a Group A Ford Sierra DTM car for a token drive race against some fellow contemporary DTM machinery at the wonderful Nürburgring Grand Prix circuit. This is a recently refreshed version 2.3, I believe, of the Ford Sierra DTM. It's had a complete physics overhaul from its original state, released quite a while ago now, and it comes in the DTM variety, the Group A, Drift and Rally. Today we're interested in the DTM car. We're racing it against the Kunos stock BMW, Mercedes, Alfa Romeo and a fellow mod in the Opel Calibra DTM. We've got a 10-lap race and we're going to be having a little bit of fun, see how it stacks up against similar such competition, and give a few thoughts and impressions on what we think of the new and substantial update to the car. So, brum brum brum, let's go. Historic 1990s DTM racing. This is an era of motorsport I absolutely love. The Sierra is a bit of a beautiful car, I've got to admit. Back in the day when Ford made things that are actually desirable. Hooray! Now, the car that we're driving is the 1987 variant, and we are racing against some slightly more modern machinery from the early 1990s. The Alfa that you see alongside and in front of us is the 94 version. The BMW, the 92 one, so it's not, strictly speaking, period correct to be racing this car, and in fact the Sierra actually was more of a British touring car mainstay than the German counterpart of the DTM Championship. But this mod has been created, the physics for this mod have been created with the idea of providing parity and sympathy with the DTM content in the game. And let's be honest, everybody loves more content for these wonderful cars. And you know what? First and foremost, in terms of BOP balance of performance, they've done a very good job and it matches up really, really well. Excuse me while I adjust my headset. Yeah, it matches up really, really well. They're a competitive two against each other. You can have some good racers. I've got the AI, oops, Mr. Gear, there we go. I've got the AI set to 100%. Aggression, I think it's about 63, 64. And as far as the AI behaves in Assetto Corsa, which, let's be honest, it's not bad, it's serviceable certainly, but it's not fantastic. They do a good job. They offer a nice offline racing experience. So you can certainly put these cars together in an event and get a satisfactory experience. Hello, oversteer. And get a satisfactory experience from that. So, bravo to the author of the mod, done a really good job in that regard. And this is, as I say, it's nice. There are 3 Kunos stock DTM spec cars within Assetto Corsa now, which are this BMW that I'm going around, all the way around the outside of, and then getting pushed out wide and being overtaken by another chap. That's a stock one, the BM. The Alfa, the beautiful, the stunning Alfa Romeo, that's easily one of the most attractive cars in the history of the wonderful DTM Championship. That's also Kunos created content, as is the Mercedes that we don't see on track with us at the moment, but no doubt that one is making its merry way to a race victory at the front of the grid. Oh, bottled up, get away. Yeah, so they're the 3 stock DTM cars by Kunos. There's also surfacing, hello, what's going on here? There's a gaggle. There's also surfacing on the internet, floating around somewhere, an Opel Calibra DTM, which was Opel as they call themselves in Germany, or Vauxhall as we know them over here in Europe. That was their mainstay in the category for a number of years. Manuel Reuter, of course, probably their most famous long-standing driver, a legendary German driver, and one of the more competitive of the big names in the series back in the day. And that's another really great mod, and probably something we'll do a feature video about at some stage in the not too distant future. It's been out a while now, but that really does stand up quite well and is a worthy addition to any Tin Top fans' library of content in AC. And to be honest with you, this sort of thing, this Sierra, that Calibra, this kind of race that we're doing now, this is why AC is going to live on a long, long time after Kunos have now finished developing it to concentrate on Competizione. Because you can do this sort of thing. You can race marvellous, both default and community creator content like this. The mod's got the sim has got a long future in front of it. Of that, I am sure. But enough of that. Let's talk about the Sierra. Now, as I said at the beginning of the video, there's 4 different stages, steps, varieties, whatever you want to call it, to the car available to download now. So the version we're driving is the DTM spec RS500, as we throw it up the inside, fully locked up. Yes, thank you very much. This is the DTM version, and this has been bopped. The physics and the performance have been capped in order to remain competitive with the DTM content in the game, which is wonderful, and they've done, as I've already said, a very nice job indeed, thank you very much, of achieving that level of parity with the other cars. But we've also got a drift version. Now, I'll be perfectly honest, I cannot drift a car, on purpose anyway, for love and money, so I'm not even going to try that one or pass any comment on it, because I'll just be talking at my backside even more than usual. But it's nice to have it, and it's great for those who like drifting. I know Assetto Corsa's got quite the drift following, and the physics are actually really suitable. When I have tried it in the past, I've really enjoyed it. The physics really are suitable for that kind of content. So that's really nice to note that our drifting fans out there have got something new to play with that does the job really well. And sort of talking of the sideways variety of car, there's also a Group A rally car in there, which again, Ford and the Sierra back in the late 1980s, early 1990s had a very successful time of it, both on track and on stage, with this wonderful piece of equipment, the Sierra Cosworth, a very successful rally car in the British and world stages. So that's again wonderful to see that the growing rally content in AC has been bolstered somewhat by the inclusion of the rally variant of this car. And then we've got the standard, well, I say standard, haha, Group A version of the RS500 as well. And again, we were racing DTM, but this car was very popular in a variety of national championships at the time. British touring cars in particular. A lot of the development was led by the great Andy Rouse and his team, Rouse Engineering. They were the forerunners of the spearheading, should I say, the Ford assault on the British Championship. Tim Harvey as well. Now the one of the commentators, the modern day BTC, he spent a lot of time in the Sierra to great success back in the late 1980s too. And the car ran all the way through in privateer hands until 1992, at the start of the Super Touring regulations, where after that it just became too uncompetitive against the growing Super Tourers and the onset aerodynamics within the category. It eventually phased out and was replaced by the much loved Ford Mondeo, which took, should I say, a very long time to catch up and overtake its more illustrious older brother in the success stakes. Paul Radisic, Will Hoy, Alan Menu amongst others. Ricard Rydell as well, spent plenty of time behind the wheel of the Mondeo, and in fact Ricard Rydell, if memory serves me correct, was the final champion of the Super Touring era in the Mondeo, all the way back in 2000. Before the championship moved away from the mighty Super Touring regulations in a quest to reduce costs and bring it more back to a grassroots level. Up, bit of a lock wheel there, don't matter. Cut that chicane, brings us a bit closer to the guys in front so we can have a race for the last couple of laps. So, the mod itself. The car, the 3D model, the Sierra, has been out for a while now in various guises for Assetto Corsa. But what we've got here is a substantial physics overhaul, so it's really been brought up to par by modern standards. And frankly, it feels like... Oh, he's lost it. No, nightmare. Drop the clutch, get it spun round. Oh, just as we were catching up for that fight, it snuck away. Sorry, chaps. It's a bit disappointing. Never mind. We've got some hot tyres. Let's see if we can keep it on track. Oh, we have got some very hot tyres and we are in strife. Never mind. Let's put it right gear as well. Oh, it's all gone Pete Tong. We're never going to catch him now. But doesn't matter. There's only a couple of laps. There's only a couple of laps to go. So yeah, physics-wise, it's really been quite heavily refreshed across all three variants of the car. And a very good job has been done as well. The car now feels really... it's a really solid, good representation of what one would expect DTM Group A specification cars to feel. It feels in some ways comparable to the Kunos stock content, which of course is the benchmark for these types of cars, as it's factory created, so to speak. But it also feels a little bit more raw, a little bit heavier, and a little bit less refined than the Kunos cars, which is exactly what you would expect from a car that's, well, from a mod that's depicting an older generation of the technology. So with this Sierra, that wasn't necessarily the lightest car in the category. It's never really been known for that one. It was more about its brute power and the running gear that's underneath it, and that kind of shows through quite nicely in the mod. They've done a really good job of making the car, giving you the feeling of the brute power, but at the same time having the weight you've got to shift across the circuit, and they just lack a refinement that falls under a car of this sort of category. And it makes for a very nice, very enjoyable driving and racing experience. It's slidey but it's catchable. It's flighty but it's sensible. So it's doing a lot underneath. Oh, it says as he spins off again. Oh, Paul Jeffrey, young man, you are doing a poor job tonight. Yep. Ironically, as I was saying how predictable and catchable the car is under more exciting circumstances when one finds themselves in that position. what I was going to say is, it's flighty. It's doing a lot underneath you. It's moving about, squirreling around under braking, and under any kind of, you miss your sort of turning point, as you saw when we made that spin there. You miss your turning point, and it's very, very difficult to recover the car back onto the racing line without either understeering and ploughing off the circuit or pirouetting around like we did. But what's good, and what I like about it, is it does it in a predictable way. So the car's not doing weird and wonderful things that you wouldn't expect it to do each and every lap. You're not going into the same corner in the same way and getting a different outcome each time. So it's leery, but it's predictably leery, which is exactly what I would have imagined a DTM car at that era, especially the Ford Sierra, had it raced in the category. It's exactly what I would have expected it to have felt like. And that is high praise indeed for the job that's been undertaken with this particular mod. I think that's really, I'm really pleased with that. I'm really pleased with the way the car offers a significantly different driving experience than the other DTM machinery that's out there, while still being pleasingly familiar, while still feeling a part of that family of category of cars. So well done indeed on that one. It's a very nice addition, thank you very much indeed, to the very excellent DTM category within Assetto Corsa. And yeah, I'm well pleased with it. I think the new update has really brought the car alive, has really turned this into a first-rate mod, and one that is absolutely a must-have for anybody that's interested in this kind of category of car in sim racing. And importantly, like I say, it's fleshed out one of the best categories basically in the history of touring car racing as far as I'm concerned, and that ain't ever a bad thing. The sounds are borrowed from stock Kunos content, but have had some tweaks and adjustments applied to them to give the unique feel of this beastly car in period, and they do a really, really fine job of replicating. Very nice. I love that turbo. So that turbo whistle, that's so me like. Yeah, all in, everything about the car smacks off job well done. The 3D model, as far as I'm aware, has not received any updates as part of the new build, but that doesn't matter because it still stands the test of time quite nicely indeed. It looks the business. That's the Calibra, by the way. That's also another mod, and that's another very, very fine mod. Yeah, that's highly recommend that one as well. So have a look at RD, the download section, and give yourself a go on one of the more beautiful pieces of German engineering that you'll find within the game. Yes, do I recommend it? Yes, I do. Have they done a good job? Yes, they have. Is it an improvement over previous versions of the Sierra? Categorically, absolutely. It is. It's wonderful. And yeah, 10 out of 10 really. It's a great driving experience. The 3D model still looks the part. The sounds are very impressive and very suitable for the car. The driving experience is very engaging, very entertaining, yet still reasonably beginner friendly for a car of this kind. Anyway, the BOP has been done very impressively, so it runs very nicely with its playmates in the DTM from the 1990s era. And there's not really a lot more I can say about this. A very, very good mod, very well done. I would recommend it. I'll put the link in the video description for you to download it. So yeah, there we go. That's been another RD token drive in the Ford Sierra RS500. It's a mod for Assetto Corsa. It's available now. It's still being worked on, so keep your eye out at Race Department for any improvements that come to it in future. And as I say, I've been Paul. this has been RDTV. You've watched this initially on our Twitch channel, our growing Twitch channel, where I've just migrated to literally last video or two. So would massively appreciate a sub and a follow on that one if you could please. And it'll also be archived on our YouTube channel, and you know the drill there. Please give us a like, a subscribe, follow us on Facebook, Twitter and Instagram, and obviously visit us at racedepartment.com. I love sim racing, we love sim racing, sim racing's awesome, so are you guys. Until next time, I've been Paul, catch you later, bye bye.